Okay, I think what really I'm excited about is that I think there's really now a lot of people who are interested in the relationship between individual behavior, organizations, and institutions, and all being important, and culture, all being important for strategy. And that's really is near and dear to my heart. So I'm super excited about that. And I think there are a lot of things that are really important there. One of them particularly that interests me is language, something that I've been interested in the last few years, the importance of language in the development and use of strategy. So I'm really excited about that, and there's interest in that.
Right now, I'm really excited about attribution. I think that attribution has so much to tell us about learning at the individual level and aggregating that up at the firm level. And it's also a mechanism of trust, and I think that that's really something that we should dig into and figure out more about.
Basically, a lot of what is happening in psychology is directly relevant, and we need to unpack a lot of our basic assumptions. So we always talk about bounded rationality, just as an example. Key assumption in much strategy research: what exactly does it mean? And psychology gives us a variety of answers that are very useful for doing theory.
Well, I'm excited about a number of things, but the key thing I'm excited about right now is the idea of developing new, more nuanced models of man. I think every major leap forward in our field comes from more refined models, first from the classical economic theory to one of bounded rationality, adding opportunism with guile, but I think we're at the cusp of, in behavioral strategy, coming up with new models that will lead to new insights for leaders and organizations.
Looking at the strategic decision making as well as looking at the strategic outcomes from behavioral theory can certainly enrich not only the theoretical understanding of these strategic decisions, but also help us link our research closer to the real world. So that is where I think this particular stream of work would be very important as well as relevant.
There are many things. I think to me the most exciting feature of the field is that it's right now wide open to different methods, to different research questions, and we're really at the stage when we can shape a discussion that will really impact the field of strategy overall.
Several decades later, I'm still excited about that same question, which is how do we understand agency in markets, and in particular the transformative capacities of human imagination, and the connection between human imagination and the capabilities that firms have to do that at scale and across geographies.
Well, I think especially as this information technology era continues to proliferate, it becomes increasingly important to understand how people within these firms and organizations interact with one another. And there's just so much exciting work out there right now, especially with new experimental methods and new ways to measure these sorts of things.
And that's an exciting area for which we don't know. We talk about the dual position of whether we should have artificial intelligence or not, is it good or bad, but the real issue is how does it help better strategic thinking and what needs to be taken care of in order to allow for this augmented intelligence to be much more more helpful rather than harmful.
What excites me about it is certainly the logic of adding this additional unit of analysis, which has been relatively understudied in strategy, that of the mind of the strategist, and what's going on inside their brains as an important unit of analysis, in addition to the standard industry and firm levels units of analysis.
We're doing some work on games and strategy, which is teaching strategy capabilities through games. And those games generate a lot of data, and that has taken us into looking at the neuroscience capabilities underpinning strategy.